Good day, everyone. Father Neil Dadey here once again, just to share with you a few thoughts. This past week at the morning masses, we've been reading from the prophet Hosea. When you look at that book as a whole, one of the main themes that comes out of the book, of the prophecies, is of God's constant love for his people. Constant love. No matter how many times the Israelites failed God, no matter how many times the Israelites turned their back on God, God always came back to them through Hosea saying, I will not send my blazing wrath. I will not turn my back on them. I will not deprive them of my love. They are my people, and I will be their God. And so it was with that prophecy that Hosea, despite the weaknesses of the Israelite nation, despite their many times that they turned away from God, God was always faithful to them. And that's what Hosea was trying to tell them, to give them that message, to bolster their spirits despite their weaknesses, despite their failings, despite their faults. You will be my people, and I will be your God. What a beautiful, beautiful phrase to take to heart, not only for the Israelite nation of many thousands of years ago, but for us also. For I believe a lot of people find that very difficult to accept, that God still is with them, even in the midst of their sinfulness, even in the midst of our weaknesses, even in the midst of the many times that we have turned our back on God. Not permanently in a sense of salvation, but in the times that in our weaknesses we fail him, that we fail to live what he calls us to live. And I think sometimes we have that fear of God in our hearts, which causes in our lives scrupulosity, which causes in our lives, as we grow older, the worry of salvation, that causes in our lives that we doubt God's presence and God's love within our hearts. How many of us, can you say, and how many of us honestly grew up with the knowledge of God's love for you? If you're one like me, you grew up with the fear of God. You grew up with the concept that if you step out of line, look out. The lightning bolt out of the blue comes. And believe it or not, for me, it wasn't not until I even got into the seminary that I began to change that attitude. When I began to have the time to think about, to meditate upon, to dwell upon God's love for me and the Jesus Christ effect, that he came into the world, not to condemn the world, as St. John said, but to save the world. How many of us have grown up with that? Probably not many. But then my next question is, how many of us want to believe that? Because it is the gospel, and we can believe in it, and we should believe in it. As I said, if we made that a foundation, a pillar of our life, then our lives not necessarily will be easier, because we all have to face life's difficulties, the crosses, as Jesus says, that will come. But we'll be able to endure and to go through and to bear them, knowing that God's love is with us, no matter what, even when we fail him. He will not fail us, and he will never turn away from us. And I believe that's what the prophet Hosea is trying to tell his people. To listen, to follow, and in the midst of failings, to be reassured of God's love for them. And that's what I want to leave with you. The reassurance of God's love for you. Always, always. So let us celebrate that here on this earth until the day we can celebrate it forever in heaven with Jesus, praising him for his goodness and his love for us. So take care. God bless. And again, truly, make his love the foundation of your lives. And I promise you, your life will never be the same. God bless.